All right, Heather,
Hi.
welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you are a top fan, long-time listener, second time on the podcast, maybe third time, maybe third time. And I can't think of a better person to help us kick off this summer series known and really about our Founders Scholarship Fund. So this is a really cool program. I'm so excited for our listeners to kind of embark on this journey with us over the next several weeks and hear from winners, recipients of these scholarships and what they're doing with them and how they're impacting the community, how they're impacting just their lives. It's so cool.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
First and foremost, tell us about this program. Tell us about the Founders Scholarship Fund.
Yeah. Gosh, we run a lot of programs at Broad River and a lot through Memory Maker experience. And when I think about this one, it settles different for me. I remember when we announced the Founders Scholarship Fund and you were doing a fireside chat with Jonathan and Jackson, our original founders, and just hearing the purpose behind the scholarship fund. I think it just really speaks to the core of who Broad River is. It's not just internal. It's not just in our own four walls. It extends to the families of our memory makers. And you don't find that a lot of places. School, that's an incredibly big financial burden for so many people. And so that can hold them back as they go on to furnish life's best memories. And so this program, as it's grown over the years, it just gets better. The essays get better, the stories get better. Every year, it's just harder and harder. But to give away those funds and to see what these students have done, and some of which I know very well, and I watch them grow, it just, that's furnishing life's best memories, and that's so powerful.
That's remarkable. Thanks for the history. I love going back. Thanks for that history lesson. And yeah, I'm thinking about that fireside chat right now as you mentioned it, and Jonathan and really the heart behind this initiative and this program was their desire to really thank the memory makers who have been with us. We're celebrating 20 years. 20 years. So actually, we'd be going to college too. This is we're at the college age right now.
Yes.
So that's kind of aligns to it. And Jackson and Jonathan, they just wanted to say thank you. And not just for our current memory makers, but to your point, to the families, to the children of our memory makers, that they may continue to pursue their education. And may this scholarship in some small way just help lessen that burden.
Yeah.
So that's so cool. And you're right. It is one of the many programs that your team does. And let me just say, thank you. Because not only do you execute and do the many programs in our Memory Maker Experience team, but you all put the intentionality, just all the small touches, everything that comes with really first-class experience. Thank you so much for that thoughtfulness, for that leadership, because it starts really with that. And so thank you for making this program so amazing. You and your team.
Welcome. I have the best team. You know that I tell you all the time.
You sure do.
And they have the heart for it. And so it makes these things really easy. A lot of people, how do you do? Well, we just care. Yeah. We care an awful lot about the people that we're surrounded by. And so doing these things, these are the highlights. Being able to celebrate, recognize, and then to hear these guys on the podcast is just really special. And to hear their stories, when you judge it and you read the essays and you've been a part of it, you want to tell everybody how good the essays are. And I can't, but you'll get to hear a lot of that in the podcast. So that'll be really exciting.
It's so authentic. It's so authentic. And that's why it sticks. And that's why it's memorable. So, okay. So let's get through the highlights.
Yes.
So this Founders Scholarship Fund, let's talk about how much dollars, how many dollars have been given out and awarded to these recipients?
We've awarded $190,000 in the time that we've been running Founder Scholarship Fund, which started in 2019.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And I know we've, again, this impacted by COVID as well.
Yes.
And so we're going to speak to recipients and award winners that won it that first year.
Yep.
And some that just got recognized this past couple of months and that are starting their college education this fall.
Yes.
So really excited about that. And like, how many folks are applying to this? Talk to me about the competitiveness.
It's grown year over year, which is exciting. And the word has got out, and coming back from COVID, we had to pick things up a little bit. So in the time we've done it, we've had just shy of 100 applicants.
Wow.
This past one, we had 39 applicants. So you just see it grow. And as more people talk about it and see it and have awareness towards the program, it will continue to grow.
Well, and that's our goal. I mean, so our goal for this summer series is to drive awareness to this unbelievable program that your team leads the charge of, and you get to kind of hear where the heart behind the program was from our founders. So named in their honor, the Founders Scholarship Fund. And so let's think about some of these stories that we're going to hear over the next several weeks. So we'll get some teasers for our audience here. What do you think? What do you think we're going to hear?
I think you're going to meet a group of incredibly talented, selfless, humble people. As you go through reading their essays and their applications, they have a heart for others. They want to change the world, the community. And you're going to hear these stories. And I know when I read them, I think, really? Wow, I got to do better. I wasn't doing that in college. And so you'll hear just the heart, the stories, the way they give back. Some you'll hear from are people I know incredibly well. And so I've seen the growth that it's provided them personally and professionally in their career and at home, and just the different journeys and true paths that this group is on. It'll make you self-reflect. It'll make you think. It'll make you aspire. Just truly amazing, incredible group of people.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to chat with our recipients, with our winners over the next several weeks, and to share their stories.
Yes.
Because to your point, I've read these essays. Like, they're incredible.
Yes.
They are true memory makers. And I love their passion for their field of study, for what they're doing. And yeah, a little bit convicting as I was reading some of the essays and thinking back to my college days.
Yes.
Wow, like incredible,
Mm-hmm.
incredible. And so let's talk about like what's next for this program.
Yeah.
So we get through the summer series and we drive more awareness, engagement, get to hear some remarkable stories. Let's dream a little bit about what this program looks like a year from now. What are some things that you think we can do to continue to grow this?
Awareness is key. It started as a very quiet program. We were a smaller company back then. And so I think awareness, what it does, who it impacts, where they go on. And, some of the stories you'll hear, they've gone on to do incredible things. We kick it off right around the February timeframe. And so, of course, my goal, as you know, is always to give more funds. You and I have the
Yes.
initial meeting and we say, okay, what do we want to give this year? And so year over year, we've given more. And so we want to give more. We also want to be able to impact more people. So every year we've given more in dollar and to more memory makers. And so that's a real goal of mine. And then I think starting with this podcast, it's how do we continue to tell their stories? We do that really well internally, highlighting where they go on and celebrating them. But I think being in those moments with them, celebrating those milestones, graduation, first job, promotion, Broad River wants to be a part of that for years to come, whether they work in our four walls or they're at home with our memory makers.
What a great representation of our purpose statement, right?
Mhm.
And when I think about furnishing life's best memories, it's pretty much what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, when we talked about the purpose statement with all of our leaders and memory makers, it's not for us. It's not internal. It's for others, right? And so what a great program that highlights this purpose statement at the heart of the purpose statement.
Yes, truly.
That is wonderful. Anything else going on for Heather Greenwood this summer? What's going to give us some big goals for the summer?
Gosh, well, I have very, very little children at home. And so when I think about this, it just freaks me out because college and, the summer for me, it's just being with my kids and my family, and I continue to pursue better balance in my life. So my oldest just started flag football. So that's my new Saturday gig.
Okay.
And then I'll prepare for soccer coaching season again in the fall. And really with my team, it's just continuing to think, just how do we elevate the experience?
Love it.
We have so many great programs. And for us, it's not just doing it once. It's how do you continue to elevate year over year? We're starting to work on some events right now for the fall. And so all the preparation and planning that goes on behind the scenes starts happening now.
Okay. Okay.
So-
Well, I've heard about your recent soiree into coaching.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I heard you had a great record. First
Thank you.
first season. It's
Yes.
not easy.
It's not easy.
But you talked about elevating. So you're going to elevate for next season. What are you doing to learn?
I now find myself studying about coaching kids. I'm a big Ted Lasso fan. And so
Great.
sometimes you find your inner Ted Lasso coming out on the sidelines. But I also coach 5-year-olds. So just thinking about that, what does that look like, sound like? One of mine is out there every day. And so it's all about a confidence game.
Yeah.
And it's building them up, and it's high-fiving, and it's hugging, and it's a lot of good jobs. And so for me, I really want to elevate as a coach for my son.
Love it.
I want to be there for him. He recently, and I'll share this really quick, he graduated from preschool. And they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And so there's a sign, and it says, when Henry grows up, he wants to be a soccer coach. I said to Henry, Bud, I didn't know you wanted to be a soccer coach. He said, well, that's what Mom does.
Mm,
And so it's those moments that make me go,
come on.
like, that's worth it. Is it easy? No. Am I scared? Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know anything about soccer. I don't play soccer. But then it's moments like that where I'm like, okay, that for me is furnishing life's best memories and being able to impact him and what he aspires to be, or hopefully someday goes on and we're talking to him about Founder Scholarship Fund. But it's just moments like that.
I love that. What a beautiful story.
Thank you.
I've coached James in soccer for the past 7 years, and he's never said he wanted to be a soccer coach. So I don't know. You're doing it just fine. Congratulations. That is
you.
awesome. All right. So I'm going to test out some of my questions. These are some of the questions I have for these award
Okay.
recipients. So you tell me, this is a little sneak peek. So we have to think back to when I mean, you were in college not too long ago, but for me, it's been a while. So favorite class in college?
Oh, gosh. I started out as a marketing major.
Mhm.
And so I would say that first marketing 101, loved it.
Yeah.
And, then changed my major not
Yeah.
too long after.
That's
So,
that tends to happen. Okay. Favorite studying snack when you were cramming for those finals, those exams, those midterms. What was that snack of choice?
Sour Patch Kids and pretzels.
Come on.
You have to have that salty,
Sweet and
sour mix. It keeps you energized. I think this is when I also found my love of coffee. So that's kind of the mixture.
That's awesome. Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish are definitely
Ooh.
high on my list. High on my list. That is great. Okay, so I think we got some questions here that we can work with. Heather, why is education so important? Like when I think about this program, and for me, like,
Yeah.
when I remember talking to Jonathan about it and why we picked, really the heart was education. But I'd love to hear, like, why do you think education is such a big part of kind of, the furnishing life's best memories piece for this?
Yeah. I think about the word thrive
Mm,
or elevate. And I think education is such a gift that it kind of has no boundaries. Going on and educating yourself and learning about different topics in different places in different ways that you can evolve. It is truly something that just opens your horizons, allows you to see things differently and more clearly. I think about, for me, just truly the growth opportunities and the person that I've become through higher education, and the person I was when I started, and the person that I was when I finished and I graduated, and then the person I am today. We talk a lot about continued learning at Broad River, and that never stops. There's always education. There's always something to learn, and you have to always be an active student, no matter where you are in life.
love it. Congratulations on your 7th year seventh year, almost seventh year with
yeah.
Broad River Retail.
Thank you.
Remember that interview, remember that day well. And what a blessing. What a blessing it is to have you not only lead our people, but care so well for our memory makers. It is truly an honor to have you as one of our leaders. And so with that, I wish you well this summer.
Thank you so much.
I know we got a lot going on in Memory Maker Experience, but thank you for helping me kick off this summer series to really just recognize and to really drive awareness to this great program that you all do such a great job of shepherding with really our heart at the center of it, the purpose of furnishing life's best memories. So Heather, thank you so much. So excited to spend time with each of these winners and recipients. And I think I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.